Good morning, boys and girls. This is day 5 of your week 5 packet. It should have a snowflake in the top right corner and have a number 5 on it. Number 1, find the sum. 9 plus 3 equals 12. Put the 2, regroup the 10 ones above the tens place. 8 plus 1 equals 9, plus 3 equals 12. Put the 2 and bundle those other 10 above the hundreds. 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 8 equals 15. Write down the 5, bundle the other 10 hundreds, and put them above the thousands. 1 plus 6 is 7, 7 plus 4 equals 11. Count your digits, 1, 2, 3, and put your comma. All your commas should line up. 6,689 plus 4,833 equals 11,522. Number 2, find the difference. Remember, the difference means the answer in subtraction. 0 subtract 6. If I don't have anything, I cannot take 6 away. I'm going to go over here to my tens where I have 2 tens, take one of them, so that leaves me 1. And unbundle it to give me 10 ones. 10 subtract 6 equals 4. 1 subtract 8, I cannot do that. So I'm going to go to my hundreds, take one of them, so it leaves me 1 left, unbundle it to 10 tens. I already have 1 10, so now I have 11. 11 minus 8 equals 3. 1 subtract 5, I cannot do that. I'm going to go to my thousands, take one of them, which leaves me 7 left, turn it into 10 hundreds. If I already have 100, now I have 11. 11 subtract 5 equals 6. 7 subtract 6 equals 1. Count your digits, 1, 2, 3, put your comma. All your commas should be in the same spot. Okay, I have question 3, find the product. 72 times 81. Since it's a 2-digit number by a 2-digit number, I'm going to go ahead and use an area model. I'm going to take 72 and I'm going to write it out in expanded form. 7 is the same as saying 7 tens or 70. 2 is the same as saying 2 ones. I'm going to do the same thing with 81. 8 really represents 8 tens or 80, and the 1 just represents 1 1. So I'm going to find the area of each of these boxes, which will be partial products, and then I will add them up at the end. In this first box, we have 80 times 70. Remember, whenever you're working with the multiple of 10, you can count the zeros at the end and put them automatically in your answer. So here I have 1, 2 zeros, automatically put those in your answer. Then I have a basic fact, 8 times 7. If you don't have that memorized, you can go over here to your multiplication chart, find your 8, find your 7, and where they meet in the middle, that's your answer, 56. 8 times 7 is 56. If 8 times 7 is 56, then 80 times 70 is 5,600. For the next box, it will be length 80 times width 2. Again, I'm working with a multiple of 10, so I can go ahead and put that in my answer. And then I have 8 times 2. So I go back over here to my 8, and 2. And where they meet, 16, that's my answer. 8 times 2 is 16. 80 times 2 is 160. Down here in the bottom box, I will have 1 times 70. We know that anytime a number is multiplied by 1, the answer is simply the same number, 70. And then the last one will be 1 times 2. Same thing. Anytime you multiply it by 1, it's itself. So in this case, that number will be 2. I'm going to take all these partial answers and I'm going to line them up in the ones place, and I'm going to add them up to get my total. 5,600 plus 160 plus 70 plus 2. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 equals 2. 0 plus 6 plus 7 equals 13. Write down your 3. Bundle the 10 tens and move them to the hundreds. 1 plus 6 equals 7, plus 1 more equals 8. And 5 plus nothing is 5. Count your digits, 1, 2, 3, put your comma. 72 times 81 equals 5,832. Okay, question 4, find the quotient. So we're going to use an area model again, but remember, instead of finding the inside, they already give us the inside. The inside is this number right here. We're going to be finding the outside top. Okay, so I'm going to start by making another area model, and I'm going to look at my number, and I'm going to see that this number has 1, 2, 3 place values. So I'm going to write 3 place values in my area model. Now remember, with multiplication, it's repeated addition, but with division, it's repeated subtraction. And put that 7 on the side. Write your total inside the box. I'm going to start with the hundreds place. That's the largest place value. But I can look and I can see 7 times 100 will equal 700. That number is way bigger than 413. That means I can't do that. And since it's the 100 place, 100 is as low as I can go. Then that means there are no hundreds. And I'm going to move this over to the tens place. Since I am in the tens place, I know that whatever my answer is going to have a 0 right here. So I'm only going to look at these first 2 digits because remember I said you could put the 0 in your answer and then you're just looking at the top number, and this number as a basic fact. So I'm going to go look at my 7s and I'm going to see if I can get close to the number 41 without going over the number. Okay, I'm at my multiplication chart. I find the number 7. I go all the way over. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. Oh, that's too far because 42 is over. So it has to be 35. Go up and it's 5. So because I'm working in the tens place, it's not going to be 5, it's going to be 50. I already have my 0 here. 5 times 7, as we already saw in our multiplication chart, is 35. So 50 times 7 is 350. I'm going to take these numbers and I'm going to subtract them. 3 subtract 0 equals 3. I cannot say 1 subtract 5, so I'll have to come over here to the hundreds place, take one of them, give it to the tens place, so that's going to turn into 11. There's my 11. 11 subtract 5 will equal 6, and 3 subtract 3 equals nothing. Now that I have this number 63, I'm going to move it to my ones place. And now I'm looking for a basic fact that will get me to 63. Remember, because this is the ones place, the only digits that can go here are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So come back over to your 7. And now I'm going to be looking for 63. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63 exactly. Go ahead and go up, and I see that it's 9. So I'm going to put a 9 in my over here. 9 times 7, 63. 63 subtract 63 equals 0. Now for division, you're adding up the numbers on the top to get your total. So I have 50 plus 9, you can do that in your head, equals 59. 413 divided by 7 equals 59. Now remember, a good way to check yourself to make sure if you're right is you take your answer and you multiply it with your divisor, and it should equal the total you started with, 413. If it does, then you know you're right. Question 5. Find the factors. Remember, factors are the two numbers you multiply together to get an answer. So if I want to find the factors, I'm going to make a T-chart with the number 24, and I'm going to write all the possible ways you could get 24. We know the first one will always be 1 times 24. I see that this is an even number. That means that it will definitely have 2 as a factor. So I'm going to go to my multiplication chart, and if you follow it all the way over, you can see right here, 24. And if you look up, I see 12. So 2 times 12 equals 24. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to look through my 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. I see 24 again. Follow it up, 8. So 3 times 8 will also be a factor. Then I'm going to go to my 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. I see 24 again. Follow it up. I see 6. So 4 times 6 is a factor. And then the next would be 5, but I know this does not end in a 0 or a 5, so it will not have 5 as a factor. And the next number is 6, and since I already have 6 on here, now I know I'm finished. I have all the ones. So to list your factors, you're going to start on this side and list them in order and then come back up the other side. So it's going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 24. Those are your factors. Go ahead and number 6, write the number in expanded form. Well, the easiest way to write this in expanded form is you bring each digit down. So you will start with 3,000. And you're just making an addition problem. Then you bring down the 9 straight down. So you'll have 9, and then everything else becomes a 0. And you put a plus sign. And then you're going to bring the 3 down. And everything else becomes a 0. And then you'll bring the 1 down. And then what you do is you just add them up, but you're going to add them up horizontally. So this first number says 3,000 plus 900 plus 30 plus the last one is 1. And really remember what that means is that this 3 is in the thousands place, so it means 3,000. This 9 is in the hundreds place, so the value is 900. This 3 is in the tens place, so the value is 30, and this 1 is in the ones place, so its value is 1. This is expanded form. You're stretching out the number into its place values. Number 7, draw a parallelogram. We gave you a paper that tells you all about parallelograms. You know that a parallelogram has 2 pairs of parallel lines. So I'm going to go ahead and take these lines and turn them into a parallelogram. And then it says partition, and remember the part you pay attention to is that it says part it into 2 equal parts. So you're simply going to, divide that in half. So I could either do it this way, there's 2 equal parts, or I could do it horizontally and there's 2 equal parts. Number 8, a snowstorm hit the northeast. It started snowing at 2:35 p.m. and ended at 4:05 p.m. How long did the snowstorm last? We're going to use our cubed strategy. This number, or this time, would be our number in units, 2:35 p.m. and 4:05 p.m. We're going to underline the question. How long did the snowstorm last? Box the keywords. Just how long. We're just telling them how long it was. Maybe this would be your keyword, started and ended. We're going to think, evaluate, E. What do I need to do? Well, I just need to find the difference between this time and this time. And D, draw a picture. I don't know that I really need to draw a picture for this one. But you do need to know about time. So you need to know that in 1 hour equals 60 minutes. That's important. I can see that this is more than an hour apart. I'm going to think in my head, okay, 2:35, and if I add an hour, that's 3:35. So let's think down here. 2:35 plus 1 hour, or 60 minutes, however you want to say that, would then be 3:35. And it didn't end until 4:05. Then I'm going to count up till I get to 4. So 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Okay, I counted by 5. So if I was going to do minutes, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. So right now, if I added 25 minutes, I would now be at 4 o'clock. 4 p.m. and it ended at 4:05 p.m. So then I have to take my 4 p.m. and I still have to add another 5 minutes. Let's bring this up a little. So I still have to add another 5 minutes to that to get 4:05 p.m. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to circle all the times I did. So here I had to add 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 5 more minutes. So 1 hour, and then 25 minutes plus 5 minutes equals 30 minutes. So how long did the snowstorm last? It lasted for 1 hour and 30 minutes. And you're going to go ahead and write that in a sentence. 1 hour, 30 minutes. I'm going to let you do that on your own. Write that in a sentence. Okay, let's go up to question number 9. Which fraction is less? Now remember, if you have 2 denominators, you cannot decide which one is greater or less. You need to have an equivalent fraction. So the way we learned how to do it is that I take this denominator, 3, and I multiply it over here on the top and the bottom. Because we know that 3 over 3 is equal to 1, and that's how I keep my fraction equivalent. So 10 times 3 equals 30. 4 times 3 equals 12. 12 thirtieths is equivalent to 4 tenths. Now I'm going to go back to the other side, and I'm going to take this denominator, 10, and I'm going to multiply it to this fraction. And if I do it to the bottom, I have to do it to the top to keep it equal so that it's equivalent. 3 times 10 equals 30. 1 times 10 equals 10. 10 thirtieths is equivalent to 1/3. Now I have like denominators. A like denominator means that I have the same denominator in both numbers, 12/30 and 10/30. So then now that the denominators are the same, you can just look at the numerators, the top numbers. Which is larger, 12 or 10? I know that 12 is larger, so I put 2 dots next to 12, 1 dot next to 10, and then that helps me draw my sign. The question says, which fraction is less? 10/30 is less, which means 1/3 is less. This should be your answer, 1/3. Question 10. Find the perimeter of the quadrilateral. To find the perimeter, you're going to add up all the sides. If this side right here is 4 yards, then the parallel side is also 4 yards. If this side is 2 yards, the parallel side is also 2 yards. Write 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2. I know that 4 plus 2 equals 6. This is going to be the same. 4 plus 2 equals 6, and then that gives me a double. 6 plus 6 equals 12. But It's 12 what though? You have to make sure you say your units. It's yards. So I'm going to write 12 yards. That's my answer. That's it for today, boys and girls. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.